What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Better Than Static. I am your host, Tyler, and with me today, I have my buddy Lucas.
Hey.
There's like a little bit of a pause, and
Yeah,
it was a, what's it called? Not tension building, and suspense
yeah.
build.
I got
Um,
distracted.
you're good.
I'll tell you with what here in just a second.
Yeah. This week we're a little shorthanded. It's just me and Lucas, so this episode could be an hour like our usual one. It could be shorter, it could be longer, who knows. But we would appreciate you sticking through and listening. Chris is traveling this weekend because me and him have a long weekend where we're off. Me and Chris don't work together, but we're both off on Veterans Day, which is Monday. Which, Lucas, are you off on Veterans Day?
No.
Oh well, that sucks. Um Which Samantha's not off either. She's a teacher and she's not off. But like
Yeah.
me and Chris are off, and Chris took advantage and took a 3-day weekend. I will probably be working on grad school application to go back to school.
No.
But this episode will come out on Veterans Day, which is cool. I don't think that we have any Veterans Day topics because we've not been to war. We are not veterans, so.
Yep.
But for those that are veterans and you're listening, man, we really appreciate you for supporting our podcast. There are many other podcasts that are probably better than us, but we also appreciate you for your service.
Yes,
That is
absolutely.
that's a very brave thing to do to protect our freedoms, and we thank you. And if you are listening and you know a veteran, you should definitely tell them that, because I'm sure they do not hear that enough. Or at least in my opinion, they definitely do not hear that enough. But Lucas, why were you distracted during the intro?
Okay, so I got a notification on my phone. I've been looking at houses and I got a
Okay.
notification of a new listing. I was
Okay.
like, oh, I'll just pop it up and flip through the pictures while Kirby's reading through the intro. And I get to, I'm guessing what used to be the kids' room.
Yeah.
And there is a mural on the wall of Rick and Morty of the green portal gun, and then it just has their silhouettes like walking into the
You have to buy this
uh
house. That's what I'm hearing,
no,
is you have to buy this
I
house.
don't think so.
I
Uh
mean, if the rest of the house is nice, don't let that ruin it. Because I mean, that's just a fresh coat of paint you can put on to fix that.
no, the rest of the house isn't very nice, but
Oh wow, way to just tell somebody's house that sucks.
well, it does.
What if? Oh my gosh, what if that person? This is like the longest shot, and it would never happen. But what if that person's listening, and they're like, "What the frick? Why don't you like my Rick and Morty?"
No, the Rick and Morty's awesome, but
The
the
rest of
rest of
the
the
house
house is
sucks. Oh
it's
my gosh.
it's not what I'm looking for. I'll put it that way. That seems gentle, right?
Yeah, that seems more gentle than what you had said prior. Um,
Yeah.
I've been looking at, like, I am not like, oh, I'm gonna move out and stuff like that. Like, me and Samantha will move out of our parents' home when we get married, but I think we're gonna rent for a little bit because we got to build up that down payment.
Yep.
But I'm still on like the house marketing websites, and one came up on like my suggested uh this week, and it let me just say, if I had bought that house, I guarantee I would have woken up in the middle of the night and there had been a misty figure above me questioning why I'm in their home.
It
Because,
was haunted.
oh, I guarantee it, Lucas. There was no way that it wasn't.
Uh, yeah, I've seen a
That's what was wrong
few.
with that house.
Yeah, I've seen a few like that up here in my while I've been looking. It's like, oh, why's this house for sale? Oh, that's why they got scared of the spirits living in it.
They couldn't stand being haunted. The
Yeah,
Conjuring was happening under their nose.
yeah.
Oh
They
my
were
gosh.
smart and actually left instead of trying to fight it.
Yeah, that movie, they should have just, like, if anything, like, if you still had the property, like they had the house, and you had the property still there, just build a cabin on the property and just tell no one to go inside the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a full waste.
Just tear the house down and burn it.
I
And
feel like that's a worse idea than living in it, because then you've pissed them off more than what they already were pissed off, Lucas.
they'll get over it.
No, that's not true at all. But
No,
anyway,
you just call Ed and Lorraine Warren and let them stay in the house for like 3 weeks and
you
let it
know,
be over with.
I wonder, like, do they enjoy that, or is it like their job? Like, God, gosh, dang it, I got to go to another house. Frick, I got to pay those bills. You know what I mean? Or is it like, oh man, we get to go to work today?
I mean, I feel like to do something like that, they have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, every time you wake up and get a phone call, you're like, "Crap, we gotta go fight demons today."
Well, I mean, I'm sure like superheroes get tired of it. I know it's a very prevalent thing in Spider-Man movies of like, he's like, I want to take a break. I'm just a kid. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that I
I
would,
just
if,
wanna go to London and hit
yeah,
on
or
MJ.
I just want to get a girlfriend. But, but like, I'm sure that, I mean, this is such a like conversation that would never happen because, superheroes aren't real. Demon hunters might be real. I don't know. Demons are a thing. Um, I
I mean,
am,
Ed and Lorraine Warren are real people,
yeah,
so
exactly, an Annabelle doll.
yeah.
So, so that technically that's more real than like the Avengers. What the crap?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Um, but the reason I was asking about, I wonder if they like are. Oh, we gotta go to work again today. Is that's what I'm experiencing. I'm like, I don't want to go to work. I'm not crazy about my job. And so this week I took a big step of like trying to get into a next career. So I want to be a teacher. I want to be a high school teacher. That is the goal. Like I evaluated my situation, and the highlight of my week was Wednesday nights when I got to go to church and help out with the youth ministry. So I'm like, I think I could. I think what makes it the highlight is I enjoy the kids, and the kids like teach me just as much as I teach them, and getting to hang out with them more at a high school environment I think would be fun. And like your job, so my job with politics, like with the governor race that just happened, like everything changes so much. I don't like that, but every day I wake up, my job would be I got to go in and teach kids. That's
Yeah.
simple, and it's a very fulfilling job, and I think I would enjoy it. And so this week I took my praxis. So a couple weeks ago I filled out all the applications to get into the grad school per my choice to get a master's in teaching. Because what's crazy is they accept well, it's not really crazy. It's just very convenient for me. Is they accept my engineering degree and they're like, okay, so you are a credible human being that could teach people. Now let's just teach you teaching strategies. So they're gonna get like I'm gonna get a master's in teaching. It's kind of like how you had an accounting degree and they're like, well, that's definitely a prevalent degree. So let's see, further uh, further prepare you for the business world, the MBA kind of. That's how
Yeah.
I would
Get more
think
of
that.
a higher level general look into business as a whole, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So like mine is they accept that I have been to school and I could teach some kids some things. They're just helping me get more into the teacher world, which I really appreciate because it would suck if I had to go get a whole nother undergrad degree that the masters in teaching, accepted, so to speak. Kind of like there's certain college, like certain master's programs where you have to get a certain like undergrad degree, but this is not one of those things. So I was very thankful for that. But Tuesday I took my praxis, and what is great now, and I experienced this when I took my first engineering exam, like my fundamentals of engineering, to where I could practice as a engineering training, which is kind of like residency thing. It's kind of like a residency for engineers is your engineering training, but like all the tests are on computers now, so grading is so quick. You get your scores back
Yeah,
so
it's
quick.
instant.
So I think for my FE, I had to wait half a week, and I took my praxis Tuesday, and last night I found out that I passed everything. Which actually, like right
Sweet.
after the test, it told me I got a 200 out of 200 in my math and a 192 out of 200 in my reading. But like writing, where I had to write a couple essays, that they had like
Yeah.
took a little bit of time to grade those. But man, I thought it was going to take like a week and a half, but I got it back. I got it back last night. We were eating with Samantha's parents, and she was asking for a picture from something to show her parents, and I was looking it up on Facebook, and I got an email from you or from the ets.praxis.org, which is where I registered for my praxis. and says your scores are available. Well, I completely forgot about showing my fiance that picture and her parents that picture, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I passed my prax. I passed everything on my praxis," which is way bigger news than that picture was.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if, like, her parents were like, "Would you just shut up and show us that picture?"
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, who
All of
cares?
us have already passed it.
Well, her dad's not a teacher. Her mom is a
Oh,
principal,
yeah.
so her mom was a teacher.
Yeah. 2 of us have passed it.
Who cares? I feel like my sister, if I had told, like, if I was sitting with my mom and my sister would have been like, "Who cares? I passed that. Like, I passed 4 different practices. Get on my
Yeah.
level." Because that's how my sister is. You have an older sibling, and I want to know if your sibling was like this. I guess. I know I've been
Well,
rambling for a while, but I had this is like the like I guess we're rolling into like a top like off shoot topic.
okay. No.
So like when I was
Mainly because I never went into the same field as my sister. So, like, me being like, "Oh, I'm taking this test that you took before," like, she never took the same like, through college, at least, she never took the same test or classes that I took.
okay, that's one thing. So my sister, it's not just been these tests that I've been trying to take to get into her profession. Because my sister was a teacher. Now she's got a doctorate. Because my sister is the prize child, has kids and stuff. So she's the favorite now.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to be the favorite because I was mommy's baby. But now my sister is the favorite because she provided grandchildren that are actually babies for my parents, and I
Yeah.
can't compete with that yet. Um, but so like all through high school or when I was in middle school, my sister's like, "Man, high school's so much harder. No one cares about your problems." I'm like, "What the frick? You went through this and complained about this." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Fine, I'll wait till high school to complain." I got to high school, I was complaining. She goes, Don't even start. Wait till you get to college." And I get to college, and I'm in an engineering. Like my sister did elementary education, which is a viable career
It is a
degree.
degree, but it is not engineering
And
level of a degree.
I was complaining. You remember this my statics homework that I would just sit at our kitchen table and do for 3 hours?
Yeah.
I was complaining about that one time when I went home, and my sister was like, "Who cares about that? Just it's college. It's always hard." And like, you got an elementary education degree. I'm getting a civil engineering degree. There is a difference, and this is difficult. And I have the hardest teacher for this subject, and you can shut your mouth. And then the dinner table got very awkward.
Yeah. It's true, though.
Yeah, like and then, but like that's what I faced like my sister. So I'm glad I was with my girlfriend's parents and her because they at least faked it really well. If they didn't actually feel like they were like happy for me, they at least faked it really good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, that's what counts,
Yeah.
she'll uh
Which Samantha was very proud because everybody thinks she's like been pressuring me to go to high school education, but she knows that I don't love my job. And she's like, "I can't wait for you to get into a job you think you'll like, and then you get to like." So this is a big step for you to. It's like one step closer to finding that career you like, and I very much appreciate that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's happening. That's
I
what's been
mean, you
happening
gotta
my
do
week.
you.
Yeah, so that's what you got to find, Lucas. Someone that's as happy for you as you are
Yeah.
happy.
I'm
Because
looking.
yeah, that's true. Audience, he's looking.
Oh, easy now.
He's very picky. He's not going to just take anybody. But
Oh, easy now.
um crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, so Tuesday I took the practice. I was worried about my writing because you know me, Lucas. I can't write worth a crap. Math is easy for me, but writing is not.
Yeah.
Like grammar and everything. And I was like, I have failed the English portion of this. That is my primary language, but I failed it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about going all the way back to the ACT. I think I got a 24 overall or something on it, which
Yeah.
is okay. It'll get you where you
It's
wanna
average.
go.
I feel like
It
that's the
won't get
average.
you any, like, scholarships or anything, but, like, I looked at my individual scores, so math, science, reading, and English?
Yeah.
Is that
I
the
think that's right.
4?
I
Okay.
think it's English, yeah. I
Okay,
forget
so
it's the grammar crap, like, because on the practice, I kept on saying English, and Samantha kept correcting me, or no, I think I
or
kept saying
grammar.
writing, and she goes English or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
I just know I just
Anyway,
passed it, but we all know what you're talking about.
yeah. So in math and science, I had like a 30 in one and like a 31 in the other or something like that. And then reading and English, I had like a 19 and a 20.
Yeah.
So it just like hit right in the middle, and I was like, "Well, I'll take it." I was one of those people that got a 24 and was like, "Sweet, that'll get me into UK where I want to go. So I'm never taking this again."
Yeah. I got a 28.
Yeah,
And math and science are my highest. I think I got a 33 in math, a 30 in science, a 28 in reading, and a 26 in English. And luckily, well, not really luckily, like I got a 28, so I got in, like we both got into UK. But what
yeah.
was cool was like where the engineering department took the sub score, so they took my math and were like, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. You want to come to our college?" I was like, "Yes, please." But no, I am glad that the ACT is behind us because everybody would stress out about if you are a high school student and you're listening to us, the ACT is important.
It is to get
But
into college. After that, after you get in, it does not matter.
it doesn't do anything for you once you get in. Because like grad school, I could have taken the GRE or the Praxis. Like nobody cared about my ACT to get into to grad school
Yeah,
or anything. Um, but like it is important to get into college. But also, if you want to go to a college and you're willing to give the college money, they're not going to turn you down, is what I figured out. Because like that would be dumb of them to like unless they had such a huge class they couldn't support for the freshmen, they would turn some
yeah,
people away. But as long as you're willing to pay, I think they'll let you in.
yeah, like UK's current freshman class.
Yeah, it's a unit. It's massive.
Yeah,
And
so if anybody doesn't know, they've had to remodel study areas for extra dorms, so there's beds for kids.
it's like they got really greedy and they're like, yeah, we want that money, we want that money, we want that money. Someone's like, hold up, we can't take all this money because we can't support them all. Screw you, person. We're gonna take all the money. We're gonna fit it.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come, they can come, and now we're just gonna this is extremely crazy because they've been building housing for the past, like, 5 or 6 years, just
They've been building.
constantly.
They've been building since 2013 or 2012 since we got their fall
Yeah,
semester, which that's 7 years
yeah,
from.
which I mean, they did shut down the Blanding Kerwin complex
Yeah,
that's
which is a massive. Which I understand why they did it, but I
oh,
don't know. I feel
yeah,
like I would have waited until the other stuff had got built and like seeing if they could handle everything. Like it was old and there was probably asbestos, but in
yeah,
but the asbestos was in the insulation and it like you could still get the bad health effects, but I don't know. I feel like I would have not saying I support
yeah,
like slumlords, but if you're a college, you could have just sucked out all the asbestos because I think it was only in the insulation. You could have went floor by floor and sucked out all the like asbestos and put new like the blow in insulation. I think it all been
yeah,
fine
yeah,
because they're not even using that area for anything right now. Like the where the low
no.
rises and the towers were, that is just empty
It's just
college
like an
space.
abandoned, like, city almost.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where we lived. We lived there
Yeah,
freshman year. And here's the thing: I love my college. I loved UK. UK was great. Me and Lucas had a lot of fun. We got our degrees, and we were successful. Um, and we still are successful. And it's not just because UK, because we've got degrees somewhere else that had been fine. But we really enjoyed UK. But my tip to you, if you go to the University of Kentucky for college, is just live off campus. Just do it. It's way easier. You have more freedom. It's cheaper.
it is a lot cheaper, but I enjoyed living on campus freshman year.
I think I didn't enjoy it as much just because my roommate,
Yeah.
because I think I spent more time in your dorm than my own dorm.
Yeah, I also think, like, your whole floor was crazier than ours, like,
Yeah.
our, like, entire floor, if you saw anybody out in the hallway, it was like, "Hey," and then you just went your own way, like, they never did anything crazy, like, nothing ever really happened, so it was just kind of like there.
It was mellow and it was chill and everybody enjoyed everybody's presence. Like it wasn't like anybody
Exactly.
hated anybody else. But
Right.
my dorm had 3 different levels. Yours had 3 different levels, but with the 3
Yeah.
different levels, there were 3 different personalities of floors. So the first floor, that is like the chill one. That would have been like Lucas's whole dorm was my first floor. I lived on the second floor. The second floor was party guys. And like just they would always like you could smell weed all the time. People would come in drunk and vomit in the floor. Like every Friday morning, right before I woke up, there was this huge dude. And you could just hear him stumble because it was like right when I would wake up. And he'd vomit right in front of our door because he couldn't make it to the bathroom, which was like one door down. So like I would have to wake up my roommate, and go, Cheyenne, it happened again. And he's like, dang it. But like so our door opened into our room, so like we didn't scrape the vomit with our
Yeah,
door
across
outside into the
the
hallway. But you had to like tiptoe around it to where you wouldn't get it because it was like perfectly centered in front of our door.
yeah.
And it was and you could hear him stumble through the rest of the hallway to his door. Like his liver is probably solid as a rock now. Like it's
Yeah,
probably not functioning. He's probably like if he's been drinking like that since 2012, like
yeah.
something I feel bad for that guy.
He probably needs some help.
Yeah. And then like the
Yeah.
people next to me, like they smoked weed all the time and would be up at like 2 a.m. Like I had a test one time. And I went to my dorm and I went to bed at 9. And at 12 they started cranking music and I couldn't sleep. And I go over there and knock one time, like, dudes, I got a test tomorrow. Could you please turn the music down so I can sleep? They go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I went back to my dorm and you could hear it go down a little bit. And then 30 minutes later they cranked it back up. And I go back over like, dude, the music went back up. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys. And like at this point, like they were rearranging their whole like they were flipping the mattresses over and crap. I'm like, what are you doing? And the third time, like, and it went down. And the third time, I went down to the front desk. So like, listen, the people up there, something going crazy. I need you to do something because I have a test tomorrow. So I am a snitch in that sense, but I gave them a chance. Gave them 2
Yeah.
chances, and like you could just hear the RA like, guys, what are you like? He actually got pissed because they were. I don't know what they were doing over there, but he was like, "What the frick are you?" Like he didn't say frick. He said a different word, but like I didn't really pay. I was half asleep, and I was like, guys, come on. But
Yeah.
and then the third floor was just crazy people. They were absolutely insane. They were on the news for setting off fireworks in the bathroom. And they would come down to the different floors and take dumps in our showers. And I'm like, we didn't even do anything. Could you leave us alone?
Yeah.
It was
Why
awful.
in the shower? Like, what kind of person goes in the shower and is like, this looks like a good spot?
Well, it's like they had to, like they were it was premeditated. They're like, all right, guys, what we should do is go down like to the
Right.
bottom floors and take dumps in their showers. Like, here's another thing. If you're wanting to do that, I'm fine if you want to take dumps in another person's bathroom. But just do it in the toilet and don't flush.
Yeah.
That's because the cleanup for that's way like easier. And like it doesn't inconvenience people when they're trying to take a shower for their 8 a.m. class. It was just awful. I hated my dorm life. Your dorm, like I would after class, I would usually wait till you all got off class, or we all got off class at the same time, and we'd all just hang out in your dorm.
Yeah. No,
We
I
played
mean, our dorm was
N64 a lot
pretty,
and ping pong.
like I said, it was pretty chill. Like, nothing. Yeah, we played a whole lot of ping pong in a 500-degree basement.
Yeah, I think that was the
Uh,
peak of my ping pong game. Like we could have went to the you know how like in Balls of Fury where they go to the back room ping pong tournaments.
yeah.
I think we could competed in those. I think we
Yeah,
could like we
we
probably
would have
couldn't have
been
won, but
we
we
would
could
have
have
been
competed.
competitive. We'll say
Yeah, we
that.
wouldn't have
We would have
won.
made a game out of it.
Yeah, they couldn't have just destroyed us. Like we would have probably got 11 and they got 21, but we would have put some points on the table.
Yeah, we got pretty good.
Yeah.
I would that's one thing I really miss is playing that much ping pong because we really played like freshman year probably 3 or 4 hours a night. Like,
Well, what we would do is we would take all of our homework downstairs or whatever we were working on, and we take so you and Luke would play, and then I would play the winner of that, and then it would keep going like that, and you'd get homework done, and then when we finally got done sweating our brains out, we'd go up and play N64 because we'd got our homework done because we took turns and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, college was great. Like I said, college was great, and the ACT is important to get into college, but do not like freak out because the college will take your money. ACT just determines how much money you get from the college. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Um, I forget where we were going with this. I think we were talking about standardized tests because I took my praxis. I don't remember. But anyways, I passed my praxis. That's the important part. So I can
Yeah.
go like start my master's in teaching, which is probably what I'm going to work on, like getting my application and registering for classes Monday when on my day off. Um, oh yeah, another great news I got this week. Me and Samantha got a venue for our wedding.
Oh, hey, hey.
Yeah, that was well. Take that. So we ate dinner with our parents after we picked out the venue. So like, well, technically, me and Samantha had went to the venue. We're like, hey, we like this. We should bring our parents and see if they like it. And afterwards, we had went out to eat with her parents. My mom was gonna come. My mom came to view the venue, but then she's like, no, I don't really like. She's like, she wasn't feeling great. I don't think she wanted to be their sports for the venue, but I think she wasn't feeling like she had like stuffed up noses and wasn't feeling great. So she went home afterwards and didn't go eat with us. But and that's where I got the news that I passed my praxis. But yeah, you remember you know where Second and Main is, right?
Mm,
You know where we park for the Wrigley.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I was thinking in uh London. I
No,
was
no,
like,
in
"What?"
Lexington or
But
not
yeah,
Lexington, in Corbin.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like it's the building directly in front of us when we where we park for the Wrigley. Like that's the back of
Okay.
that building. Yeah, yeah. And that parking lot. But yeah, I didn't think wedding planning would go as smooth as it's going, which for all I know, it could be stressful on Samantha. I hope it's not. Like I'm trying to be helpful. I don't want to be the dude that's like, yeah, you do all this.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, well, that's not gonna look good, babe. Like that's why would you do that? It's I am there and I'm supportive. I'm like, yes, I like this better than this, and I'm being very like I don't know. I feel good about how I'm being with this whole excursion. This is very new to me, but I'm trying to be helpful. I don't want to be that deadbeat dude that's like, oh, why don't you do it? I don't care. I'm just gonna go up and say yes, I do.
Yeah. I
And
mean, yeah. I mean, I've never been married, and anytime there's wedding planning, well, whenever there was wedding planning and, for my sister and stuff, I was just like, "I'm gonna stay out of it." Like
yeah, no, like for my sister's wedding, I helped my mom carry stuff into the church and stuff. Like I helped move
Oh,
stuff,
yeah. No, I
but the
helped,
planning
like
stuff, I didn't do anything. No, like I wasn't saying you didn't help. I was just saying
yeah,
like I was like, yeah, I'll be there for that. Do not ask my opinion because
yeah. I mean, also my big thing is I'm not very good with design or what goes together or what looks good, so it's just kind of my
it's like up in
opinion
the air.
is worth a lot less than anybody else's in that case.
Yeah, the only thing that is like stressing me out about this stuff is we are doing a small wedding and we're not inviting a lot of people. Which the number we settled on is still a lot of people to me at least because I don't like a lot of
Yeah.
I'm just I am like we would go to UK games and I'd be uncomfortable the whole time. Like I would have fun, but anytime we were moving amongst people, I'm just like, oh gosh. And when we were doing
Yeah.
like we were doing the interviews and stuff for Comic Cons, I would sweat so bad, and it wasn't because it was hot in the room, is because and it wasn't during the interview. Like I enjoyed the interviews, it's just all the other people. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh
trying to
my
move
god.
around and people
I,
stopping in the middle of these 2-foot aisles and
And like
I don't know.
we are larger human beings, and I just always feel like I'm in the way, and I'm all like if I'm walking through a crowd, I'm like, oh, sorry, 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 and I hate it, but that's
Yeah.
how I am. So I'm like, I do not want a lot of people at my wedding because I want to be comfortable on my wedding. But then you have like these people that that I guess they're just being nice and wanting to know about my life, but they're always like, "Hey, how's the wedding planning going? What are you doing for this, this, and this?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter. You're not gonna be there. Like, why are you asking?"
Why should you care?
Yeah, like I don't, or it's and I feel bad because I'm being mean, but I'm not. It's just like why? It's people being nosy. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because I think it's people that know they're not invited. They're just like trying to carry on converse. But it's stuff that they're like, well, you have this, this, and this. I'm like, why? I don't know. What do you want from me? I'm just trying to help my wife plan her dream wedding, and I will say yes on stuff, and I will tell her my opinion on stuff when she asks. But like I did, it's just and then you do get the people that think they're invited. Like, well, when's the invite coming? Like, I don't know. We're trying to figure that out too. Yeah, it just that's the stressful part to me is dealing with the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's kind of one of those things. Why are you asking? Like, why do you want to know?
yeah, and it's fine. I'll just if after the wedding they're like, "Where was my invite?" I'm like, "We just didn't have enough room. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we
We
ran
did
out of
basically
space.
just family." But yeah. So which that what that has led into, and this isn't like I'm addicted or anything, but I've been smoking my pipe more. And this sounds bad, like that I'm so stressed out that I'm like, oh, I have to have nicotine, and it's not. Like I think I smoked it once. I smoked my tobacco pipe, not crack, not weed, tobacco, not hard drugs. Um, I smoked it yesterday for like the first time in a week, and it's not like I am a chain smoker. It's like I didn't have a place to smoke my pipe, and I Samantha's dad enjoys smoking a pipe, so I've like left a couple pipes over at his house, and I'm over at his house more because I'm obviously engaged to his daughter, and like I'm just like, hey babe, while you get ready, I'm gonna go smoke my pipe, and it's been so relaxing through this whole thing. It has been amazing. And like, I'm not saying my fiance stresses me out. It's the other people asking questions or inserting their opinions. Because like when Samantha brings me something to ask my opinion on, it's not like, well, I need to know an answer. Tell me, please tell me. I don't know. It's like, hey babe, do you like this or this better? She gives me options, which is great because I don't like having to come up with stuff off the fly, Lucas. It's just like
You
it's like
can
you're at the
just,
eye doctor. It's like one
yeah,
or
which one looks
two
better? This?
or
This?
this. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
This?
well, that's
Or
easy. Those are easy questions. Oh gosh, but yeah, that is where my life is at right now, Lucas.
yeah.
I feel bad because we've only been talking about my life for the past 30 minutes.
I mean, my life has not been very exciting for the past couple of weeks, so
Yeah, I am about to experience that too. So Lucas is
yeah.
doing work and grad school, which is tough, and I'm about to do work and grad school. But granted, I think I think I still have more free time than Lucas right now. So when I do it, it will be a little less stressful. Like Lucas is in the last leg of his MBA, which is
Yeah.
it's just very work intensive, and then your job is very work intensive, and mine is too. But I work 7 to 3. Lucas, you work like 8 to 6.
Well, usually 8 to 5, but it's like my job goes through like peak times and then really dead times, and so like peak times I usually work till 6, 6:30, something like that, or later, depending
And
on what's happening. But and then during the low times, it's just very like easygoing, nothing a lot, nothing's really coming in for me to do, and I can just kind of take some time. But somehow it always seems like homework wise, everything is due, like papers and tests and everything is due during the peak time of work.
that
So it's
sucks.
like, I know this week, like specifically on Wednesday, I had to work until 6:37 ish, something like that, and I had a paper due that night, and then I also had some discussion questions due that night. So as soon as I got back from working 11 hours, I had to get on my laptop, write, do our discussion questions, which was probably about 5 or 6 paragraphs, and then I had to write a 3-page paper. uh, and then had everything turned in by 12, and then I just, like, sat there and stared at a blank wall for an hour and then went to sleep.
Which, like I said, my job, I choose to go I work, and I have like a project I'm working on. But after 3 o'clock, like it's not like I could get that job done, like that project done sooner. But I'm working with other people, so like I just have to do my part, and I'm
Yeah,
keeping up with everyone else. Um, and it is the tech stuff. We're moving on to new software for design, and my boss is wanting us to use that because like the design soft. So what's weird is the old stuff, the old design software that they used before I got there is still supported, and then they started this newer stuff when I first started, and I learned all about it, but it's no longer supported. Only the old stuff is, or I could use the new stuff that is now supported, and by the company we like get our design software from, and it is just frustrating because it's I know how to use it. It's just like it's very if you click too many times on anything, you're gonna crash your software. So it's just like being like it's like walking on eggshells while designing, and that's stressful. But after 3 o'clock, like or I'll work till 3:30 sometimes, and like after that though, I'm done. I get to focus on whatever happens in the evening. So
right.
when I do start my grad classes, I think the only night I'll have to be worried about getting stuff done would be Wednesday because I help out with youth. But like every other, like where Samantha is a teacher, she usually has stuff she can do. Like that's one thing I really enjoy about Samantha is she is a very independent person. Like yes, she likes being around me, but she like she's not like, oh, pay attention to me. It's like like if she has stuff she's got to do, or if I have stuff I got to do, we'll sit in the same vicinity and work on our stuff we have to do, and then we'll look up and be like, hey, how's it going? And we're like, good, and then we'll go back to working on our stuff, and we're a very productive couple, and it's very enjoyable. So when I do start my grad school, since I don't have work stuff I work on outside of work, it'll be because she's a teacher, so she grades papers, and she has to get those papers graded, and then like I would have to get my classwork done. Now, when it will become stressful, I think, is when I start teaching and I'm still in the college classes because then I'll have work outside of work with grading papers and making lesson plans, but then also I'll have to like write a paper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I
It's
think right now,
also not very hard to grade papers.
well, you have 160 students, so
Yeah.
it's not hard to grade the papers. It's just the sheer mass of papers you have to grade,
Yeah. True.
and like so I think before I start teaching, I'm gonna do 2 classes per term. So, University of Cumberland is where I'm doing it from. They have 2 spring terms, and I think 3 summer terms, and through those, I'll take 2 classes each term, and then when I start teaching, I'll do 1 class per term. And that like because I'll get a lot of classes done before I start teaching, and then when I start teaching, I can slow down and like that way I'm not overstressing myself and I can reevaluate. Like if I take 1 class, I'm like, well, I have some time. I could do another
Yeah.
class. Yeah,
That's
I'll do that.
how that's kind of how, my MBA is working. So the first, it's not a some term, I guess, is what you would call it, because there's like 2 different, like, it goes in, like, 9-week periods,
See,
and then
mine's
that you
8 week classes, I think.
I gotcha, or 8
Yeah.
weeks, it may be 8 weeks, I don't know, but, uh, actually, I do think it is 8 weeks,
Well, then like
but
because there's spring semester 1 or spring term 1 and spring term 2. So
yeah.
I guess because it's 8 week classes apiece, but I don't know. How does
Well, I
your like?
think I think mine are 8 weeks and then, like, finals week, and then
Oh,
8
gotcha.
weeks and finals week. Uh,
Yeah, I think my finals are in that 8 week.
okay. So, whenever I first started, uh, I just took 1 class in that term, and I was like, "This is really easy." Like, it's just 1, like, and plus it was an accounting class too.
So you'd
So
already done that kind of stuff.
yeah, so I had a pretty good handle on it to begin with, and then I took finance the 2nd term, and then I was like, okay, I'm taking 2 classes next time, and I did that, and then I did that for the fall and spring semesters, and then come summer semester, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take 3 classes because that's all I have left to do, and I'm just gonna get it done and over with." That was a huge mistake.
I need to reevaluate my life.
Yeah, because it was literally like for that those 2 months or 2.5 months, I don't 2 months, I guess, 8 weeks, uh, I don't think I went to sleep before, like, 1 or 2 o'clock. Like, it was go to work, come back from work, sit and do homework until, like, midnight, 1 a.m., and then go to sleep, and then wake up at 7 o'clock to go to work the next morning and, uh, do it all over again.
Yeah.
It was rough, and, it was
Which I
not good.
which I want to state, like, if you're listening and you're not in the career you want to be, don't just, or if you're like Lucas and you're wanting to better your career, don't just like, so in Lucas's part, don't settle, because you deserve to be at the pay rate or to be in the position you want to be. You just have to have the desire and the
Yeah.
determination to get to that point.
You
Like, you
have
have,
to actively go for it. You can't
you
passively
can't just,
sit and let it come to you.
yeah, like Lucas has a passion. He wants to be at this certain different place, and like you have to have that too. And then like if you're in my boat where you're in a career and you're like, man, I this is a job. Like I don't want to be here. And like that's not you shouldn't just sit there and suffer through it and just tolerate it. Like yes, I enjoy the people I work with, and I somewhat I still like kind of enjoy my job at times, but find where you really find your fulfillment. Like I'm not fulfilled by my job. I get it. I design roads and I help out with getting projects out the door, but like the politics with it, I didn't enjoy, and it just it wasn't like I didn't feel like I was making a difference. And you got to find where you think you can make a difference and find where your joy meets that making the difference. Like I enjoy hanging out with my high school students at youth ministry, and I'm like I think I can make a difference in other high schoolers' lives if I became a teacher. I could help them, cuz like there are some teachers out there that are not great. And I'm not going to say I'm going to be a great teacher, but I think I want to try it. I want to try to be the best teacher. Like and you can't, so for Lucas, you can't just sit and wait and be passive. You have to be
Right.
determined and have a passion. For me, you just got to kind of step out. Like, yes, I'm scared that I'm not going to like it, and yes, I'm scared to leave a career that I have a degree in and have to pay a little bit for some grad school. But I'm not going to go into debt for grad school. I'm going to work while I get it and pay it off. And here's the thing, like if I don't like teaching, I can go back. Like if I don't like teaching as much as engineering, I can go back to engineering. It's not like I'm closing the door. So just like if you're in our spots, definitely you definitely got to figure out where your direction is or where you'd like to be, because you don't have to settle. Do not settle. I know you settle and you listen to our podcast. We That's very much settling, and we very much appreciate your settling for us and our content on trying to help you get your life together, but or like trying to make you laugh. We love you guys and we want you to settle for better than static. But in your life and for your career, do not settle. But just keep settling for your podcast desires. um but uh but yeah, I think that's a good place to end this episode. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna have a episode next week because me and Chris have a youth ministry weekend thing. Like it's all weekend, all discipleship. So we won't have a episode next week, but we should be back on the regular schedule after that week. Um, so sorry you'll miss a week. And but we'll be back soon, I promise. And we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening, and hopefully this episode's been better than static. Bye.
Bye.
If I find my way home, yeah.
My name is Katie Cakes, and I am the host of Cake Bites, a podcast adventure through gaming history. I am just inviting you to come along with me on that journey while I interview people who have worked in and around the industry for the last 30 plus years to learn about their experiences and their perspectives, to learn more about an industry that is continuously evolving. I hope you guys will join me every 2 weeks when I release a new episode of the show on all major podcasting platforms. You can learn more about the show at cakebites.com.